EA dropped some great content in NHL 23.
What the are you talking about?
I'm not kidding. This is actually one of the best events of the entire game. Obviously, it coming in June is not ideal, but in this video, we're going to break down everything, including some tips and tricks to get you a 95 overall player. Welcome to the HUT Millennium event. We're going to go over all the players released in this. We'll start down at the bottom like we always do with the 90 overall Ray Whitney, 5'10", 180, gold elite edges, silver unstoppable force, and silver make it snappy. Now, obviously, in June, card's not going to be all that sought after. Again, a 90 overall. At least he has some pretty good abilities to help make up for some deficiencies in size. Silver unstoppable force, gold elite edges, that'll play. Next up, we've got the 91 Toronto Maple Leaf BRYAN MCCABE, 6'2", 223. And if you were born before the year 1995, this event should speak to you. You're gonna feel all sorts of nostalgia. Just wait for the MSPs. We've got gold wheels, pretty brutal choice in my opinion for this card specifically. Silver seeing eye, which could be some fun, and then puck on a string again. Nothing crazy there. Pretty brutal skating, a 6'2", 223. But if you're trying to build a Leafs theme team, you can go with the 91 BRYAN MCCABE before they chased him out of town. We got the 92 BRYAN GIONTA, the right-handed winger, gold unstoppable force to make up for the fact he's 5'7", 178, 94 speed, 92 acceleration, and then essentially 95 everything else. Now, if there was ever a team to do a theme team for in NHL 23, the New Jersey Devils is it. Now you've got a BRYAN GIONTA. Next up is the 93 Simone Gagne from the Flyers, gold elite edges, silver ankle breaker, and make it snappy. Again, probably not going to use those. It's got thief and protector as an option as well. 92 speed, 92 acceleration, a little bit more viable at 93 overall, and he's 6'1", so has some okay size. Jason POMINVILLE is up next, and from someone who was born in Southern Ontario, I've went to a ton of Sabre games in my lifetime. Gotta love Jason POMINVILLE. He's got silver unstoppable force. I don't know what the love is for puck on a string and make it snappy over this one, but nonetheless, silver unstoppable force, 96 speed, which will play. That'll play. So if you're looking for an old school Jason POMINVILLE card, you got a decent one here. Willie Mitchell is up next, the left-handed defenseman from the Minnesota Wild. I'm not gonna lie, I can't even remember Willie Mitchell on the Wild. Gold stick 'em up and silver truculence. Not the quickest player at 89 speed, 90 acceleration with workhorse, but is 6'3", 210. It's probably going to cost you a little too much to make him worth it though. Zach Parise is up next. Again, tons of Devils players. Puck on a string, but then it's a trio of great abilities with close quarters, silver unstoppable force, and elite edges. 92 speed, 93 acceleration with synergies. You can switch up speed and acceleration as well. Brendan Morrison from the Vancouver Canucks gets a card, a 95 overall. He is a left-handed center, 5'11", 185. Gold wheels, 95 on the speed. He's got elite edges, tape to tape, and shutdown. A good mix, and 95 speed is still pretty decent, especially with the slower speed progression. Then we've got the New York Rangers, HENRIK LUNDQVIST. Not the biggest at 6'1", 180. Does have 96 speed and butterfly effects, so if you are a Ranger fan, here's a nice Lundqvist card. And then Milan Hajduk, 96 overall. He's got 94 speed, 94 acceleration, gold unstoppable force, magnetic, close quarters, and silver elite edges. 99 essentially everything else. A good right-handed winger if you are looking for one. All right, on to the GOATs. And again, I'm going to talk a lot about this event and my thoughts on it, but let's go over the MSPs first. The 97 overall Adam Foote. We've got well-rounded as well as distributor and thief, which means that you can go a third skating synergy, get him up to 97 acceleration. He's got gold truculence as well as stick him up, seeing eye, and shutdown. This looks like, if you played NHL 22, especially from launch, you remember the Bash Brothers, Adam Foote and Ulf Samuelsson as the team builders. Adam Foote cards are awesome, so this could play real nice. 6'2", 220 right-handed defenseman. Love it. Absolutely love it. Then we've got Daniel Alfredsson, 5'11", 203. We get an unbelievable Daniel Alfredsson card. 99 skating, gold unstoppable force. He's got silver close quarters as well. 99 everything. This is a great right-handed winger card, and even if the size is something you want to focus on, he's got gold unstoppable force to make up for it. So an awesome choice here. Then the 97 Jerome Iginla, 6'1", 210, 3 skating synergies, 97 speed, 98 acceleration. He's got gold close quarters, silver truculence, silver pure unstoppable force, and his face-off rating's high enough that you could throw him at center if you really needed to. This is a phenomenal right-handed player, and personally, if you've been watching the No Money Spent series, or if you've watched my content for the last few years, you know Jarome Iginla is one of my favorite players. Love it. And then lastly, we prayed to the heavens for years and years, and we've got a great Joe Thornton card. 97 overall, 6'4", 220. He's got 2 skating synergies to get him up to 95 speed and acceleration. And again, it's June, it's not 99, I get it, but it looks like skating is going to be hindered for the remainder of the game, or at least much later than we're used to. 99 on the draws. The only drawback is he has no good abilities. I mean, I guess big tipper, but you don't really need it on someone who's got 95 speed and acceleration, 99 everything, and 6'4", 220. Absolutely love it, obviously. Now, I have been extremely critical of not only NHL 23 from a gameplay standpoint, but the content this year has gotten very, very bad over the last few months. And I want to check off some things because I think you got to give credit where credit is due. And if you don't agree, or you do, let me know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to sub either. So the first thing that popped in my mind when I saw the HUT Millennium event is the old school card collection from the early NHL games. So if you go back to NHL 02, there was a binder of cards to collect in there, and that's exactly what it looks like. They did a great job with the card art. On top of that, they picked great players to be MSPs. If you're gonna do an event, there's been oftentimes they choose really obscure players from those teams because they try and highlight players that don't normally get cards. Daniel Alfredsson, Adam Foote, Jarome Iginla, and Joe Thornton are all among the best players in the league in the early 2000s. So love the choices that they picked. Really excited to see who the other MSP selections are. Let me know your guesses down below. And then lastly, we have to acknowledge them changing some things up in terms of making the event a little bit more exciting and differentiating it from prior events. So on the main banner in Hockey Ultimate Team for this event, you'll see exclusive set coming in week 2. It states, collect all week 1 and week 2 86 overall HUT Millennium Power-Up Master items and exchange them for a 95 overall Ultimate Power-Up Master item. These 95 overall Ultimate Power-Up Master items will be upgradable to 98 overall. Now, we don't know who those players will be, but I want to talk about the cost and some ways around to make it even cheaper on yourself if you do want to go this route. So we do know that we are going to need to collect all 8 of these players. Again, another thing that I really enjoy about this event is that it's making you collect all of these cards. Too often, what Hockey Ultimate Team does is it devalues each individual card because it's just like trade in random 86 overalls, get X card. This is collect them all, which is what card collecting should be about. Now, if you go over to the sets, the HUT Millennium sets, you'll notice that it does cost 7 event collectibles to get each individual player. You will need each individual player, by the way, in week 2. It will not be, you know, trade in 3 Adam Foots, 2 Joe Thorntons, and whatever. As long as you hit 8, you need each individual player. So let's talk about how to cut costs there. Now, you'll notice that each individual player costs 7. However, there is a trade-in set like there is for every other event. You trade in 5 event collectibles, and you will get a random choice pack that you will be able to select from. Which means that if you opened up 4 of these, and you chose a different MSP in every single one, it would only cost you 20 event collectibles to actually get all 4 of these MSPs, as opposed to the 28 collectibles that you would need if you were to build each one individually. Now, if each collectible is going for about 5,000 coins, if you were to go the route where you made each individual one, it's going to cost you about 140,000 coins in value. So this method is going to save you about 40,000 coins in value because you'll only need 20 of them. All right, so here's how you ensure that you pick the right players from your choice packs. As you can see here, I've got 2 of the HUT Millennium 86 overall master item choice packs. It is a 1 of 2. You need all 4 different MSPs. Now, let's say I had all 4, and I went the route and I opened up the first one and I got Adam Foote and Daniel Alfredsson. And then I went ahead and opened up my second pack and I got Joe Thornton and Adam Foote. So I would take Joe Thornton, assuming I took Adam Foote in that first pack. Now, if you were to do this and lock in your selection, open up that third pack, and it's Adam Foote and Joe Thornton, you've got duplicates on your hands. So what you want to do is open up the pack, and before you make your selection, dashboard to your home screen and quit the game. This works on Xbox and on PlayStation. When you reload the game, your pack will still be in your collection, and the contents of that pack do not change. Let's say you have 4 packs you know the contents of each one, and as long as you don't get absolutely rammered and miss out on one of the MSPs, you can go ahead and select the ones that you want, knowing that you're not going to get duplicates because you know what's in each pack. Also, it looks like they changed up objectives as well. If you go down to the HUT Millennium objectives, you'll notice that it is not just play X amount of games. You'll get event collectibles the more you play, and then you can use those event collectibles however you seem fit. This is complete all of the objectives. You will get to choose one of the 97 overall master items, which is a great change because I think it just, again, makes it mean a little bit more. Now, there are a lot of different objectives here that will take you some time to complete. There is still the complete games. However, it stops at 380, which would be the last one. And again, these will stack with the more HUT Millennium cards you have. If you go the route of collecting all 4 of the MSPs for week 1 and throw those in your lineup, those stack. So instead of playing 380 games with 1 card in your lineup, you would only have to play 95 with 4. On top of that, it is not just, you know, X coins or whatever. You will get random packs. You will get a power-up collectible, all sorts of different things, which is a great change from prior events. On top of that, you will need to collect all 4 of the MSPs next week as well to do the trade into the 95s. If you open up 9 daily rewards, you will get to choose one of the 8 MSPs available, so essentially knocking off 5 collectibles. Like I mentioned, I think this is one of the best events. They are locked into a really bad format of how they release content and do events. So the flexibility they have when changing the format up is very, very limited. However, I'll give you an example of what I would love to see in NHL 24 if they are not really going to do an overhaul of the HUT content system, which I would be stunned if they did, but follow me here. So imagine we go all the way back to the start of the year and it's the HUT Spotlight event. Imagine the event allowed you to make every single one of these cards, and without upgrading them and paying the cost it would make to upgrade them to their 88 overall at launch of the game, you could trade them in and get an 89 overall card just like you could in this event. Another big reason why I would love to see this at the beginning of the year is because at 84 overall at launch of the game, those are actually usable cards. It would actually incentivize you to try out all the MSPs and then decide, do you want to upgrade them? Do you want to keep using these cards? If not, no, and you want to go for the higher overall version by trading in one of each, you can go that route as well. Again, if they're not going to overhaul the HUT content system, I think this is one of the more unique ways that they can use this extremely outdated format. So let me know what you think and your thoughts on the event down below. It is June, unfortunate, but I am someone that will give credit when credit is due. I don't know what's happened with the content team over the last few months, but this event is a definite win. Love to see it. Hope we see more of it. I'll catch you guys next time.